Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader. It's Tuesday night, November the 2nd, Election Day. And these are the charts of the day. There's an awful lot of bullish charts out there, folks. It was tough to narrow this down tonight, but there's some new ones and some old ones and some stocks you should be aware of. AKRN, AKRX, which was moving in a nice steady channel after the surge in April, May of this year, popped today and broke out across a 2-week trading range to new highs, new multi-year highs, taking us back. Oh, goes back a couple years now. So 2-year highs, and we are at some resistance zone right up in this level here, about 5.5, which I expect may be tested as early as tomorrow, depending on, of course, the election results and how the market goes. But if we do get a carry through on today's action, which was up 14.4% on 1.6 million shares, that's the second heaviest volume in the last 3 or 4 months, so pretty good action there. And then if it do get through the 5.5 range, my secondary target is up around 8 for Acorn. Cognex had a significant price volume surge today, broke out of a 5-week trading range consolidation flag type pattern as volume dwindled, but the technicals held up well. You'll see how neutral the balance of power got here. Today, the thrust. 1.5 million shares traded. The stock jumps 288 or almost 11% and may be headed now towards the next target in a 36.5, 37 zone with a short-term target around 33. DRWI Dragon Wave. You can see the pattern that developed. There's kind of a flat head and shoulders, breakout, pull back, retest, breakout again, and then a flag. Now this flag was broken today with a pop on 1.2 million shares. It jumped 45 cents or 5.6%, and now may be headed towards the 9.25 zone, which is our original trading target. Secondary target up now about 10.5. Focus Media, one of our swing trades from September. After pulling back in mid-October, the stock then snapped back from 22.5 up to 26.32 today, reversing from 23.97 to 26.49, closing just 17 cents off the high, up $1.05, 4% move, but the volume was the heaviest in a couple weeks. Looks like this one is headed to the top of the short-term channel around 29. Let's call it 29.5. At this lateral price resistance right here. That's a short-term target. An immediate target of 33. Intevac had a significant price volume surge today. You can see the stock been coming down from 15.5 down to 9. Bounced around and today suddenly surged on heavy volume up $1.87 or 19%. Perhaps a significant price volume surge. If it gets through this level, which I anticipate it will, our next target is 14. Secondary target 15.5. Jazz had a significant day today. As you can see from the this line here was presented a significant resistance for the last 6-7 months. Today the stock jumped 96 cents or 8.5%. 1.78 million shares traded. That was the heaviest volume in about 4 weeks. And a thrust here that takes us up towards just under 14. Our short-term target, secondary target at 17. MIPS, sitting here in a beautiful 5-day flag type consolidation as volume dwindles, but technicals hold up pretty well. I'm anticipating a break out of this and a spike up towards 17, my initial trading target, secondary target on MIPS at 20. New addition to our gold list, Nova Gold, which has been acting great of late, particularly since the July low when it was 5.75, has reached 12. More than doubling in the last 90 days. Significant for a gold stock. You can see all-time high territories up around the 2022 zone. I expect that we may see this one make a run for that level. And but initial target around 15. Tianli Agritech, OINK, involved obviously in hog and meat farming. Broke with a price volume surge of 90 cents or 15% today on the heaviest volume since this company went public in July. But today's action also broke through a key double top, and the stock now may have more upside to run. Initial target 8.5, secondary target at 9.75. Pain Therapeutics had a significant surge today, but the key came in October when the stock broke out of this base pattern with a gap and a price volume surge, and then backed off for about a week and a half as volume dissipated. And then turned it around after holding the opening, the 670 gap price on the retest, and it's reversed sharply and moved up to 844 today, up 49 cents or 6%. I anticipate potentially more upside on pain. Therapeutics with their targets up in this zone around the $10 level. Secondary target at 11.5 at the 07 high up here. Up next is Spreadtrum, SPRD. We've been liking this all year. Had a swing trade target a couple times. It worked out very well here. Pulled back and now it's spiked up again. Today's action pops it out of this 4-day wedge or coil and jumping $1.40 or almost 10%, 2.9 million shares. That's the heaviest volume we've seen on this stock since the end of August in more than 2 months. So more upside potentially. Looking for my initial target at 17 to be hit the next day or two or three. Secondary target up around 19, 19 and a half. Terramark, a new one, TMRK, had a price volume surge today out of this 6-week coil or wedge. Exploded for $1.27 or 13% on 3.5 million shares. That is the biggest volume that we've seen in this stock in years. So, but more importantly, a stock closed at a significant range, which has held us back for about 8 or 9 years. This could be a significant move for a stock if it extends through here. Next target 12.5, secondary target 14.5. Uranium Resources, URRE, which had been climbing steadily since July when it was trading under 40 cents, and ran up to the $1.25 area and consolidated for 5 weeks. Today jumped 39 cents or 30% on 7.25 million shares. Heavy volume, as technical surge as well, and the stock made a clean breakout across that resistance zone. Next up, potentially a move towards the 2.25 area for URRC. And lastly, today is W&T Offshore, WTI, which if you step back, you'll see a 2-year coiling base pattern that got a price volume surge and breakaway gap today for a clean move up. Now our test of the January high around 13.25 may be forthcoming as early as tomorrow because we reached as high as 13 today, but I'm looking for more than that, an extension up towards the 16, 17 range potentially at least on an intermediate term basis. And there's some really strong long ideas for going forward, but again, a lot depends on where the market is and what it wants to do tomorrow. We'll certainly keep you posted. Take care.